Hey guys, what's up? My name is Rob Richards and welcome back to my video blog training series in the run-up to the WBFF World Fitness Championships, which is less than 4 weeks away now. It's now Monday. Saturday, 2 days ago, it was the 4-week mark, so things are really starting to get hot now. My training and dieting are really on track, as you've probably seen in the past weeks. And I'm back at Gold's Gym, Venice here. We've got great weather to train chest and triceps. So I'm going to start off training chest. I'm going to run through my workout, show you a few of my sets, and as you'll see, hopefully my strength hasn't decreased too much, even though my body fat levels have. So just a warm up on flat bench, and as usual, training outside. Okay, I'm starting to take the weights up now, even though my nutrition is pretty low in terms of not eating enough calories to be able to grow. I still want to lift heavy, and the reason for that is when I'm dieting and my calories are pretty much at a complete minimum, I still need my muscles to be enlarged and taking all of that glycogen to stay full. If I start dropping my weights down and I'm not training heavy, my muscles don't have that need to stay full and expanded from all that glycogen, even from the little carbs I'm taking in at the moment, which still, by the way, isn't that low. So if you are trying to diet and get really lean and tight, you still need to go as heavy. So I'm going to start off at 135, and I'm probably going to go up to about 225, you know, 2 big plates, which is what I was doing like 2 months ago for about 8 reps. So that'll give me a good kind of basis as to how strong or weaker I've got with my diet. Alright, next up, what's this, 135, 205 pounds. Again, shouldn't be hard, but again, I'm dieting, so we'll see how it goes. Now, that's interesting. That's about the same reps that I was lifting 2 months ago when my nutrition was far higher, so my body had more energy. And one theory for that, at least, is that when I'm dieting, even though my body is basically giving up a lot more body fat, it's now having to engage and use a lot more muscle fibers. So we all know that when we lift, we're only engaging anywhere from 20 up to maybe 40% of our muscle strength. Now, when we're dieting, providing we do it in the right way, lower our body fat levels and try and keep that muscularity as large, as expanded and full as we can, our strength proportionally actually goes up. We may not get stronger, but pound for pound, we do get stronger. So if you want to get stronger, drop your body fat. Okay, back up to, I'm not going to say my heaviest weight, but the weight I was still lifting up to 2 months ago. 225 pounds, 2 large 45-pound plates either side. I was getting comfortably 6 to 8 reps 2 months ago, and of course I was maybe 8, maybe even 10 pounds heavier back then. So let's see how that drop in body fat and a little bit of muscle has affected my strength. Nope. Alright, moving on. I'm sticking with incline barbell press. Now, even though I'm trying to get really lean, ripped and more defined now, get all the striations to show in my chest muscle and around my shoulders, I'm still sticking with the big compound movements, the barbells and even dumbbells next up, just to get that power out. Then when my muscles start to fatigue more, I'll move more onto the cables to get that constant pull of resistance throughout that full range of movement, which allows me to then fatigue the muscle even further. So compound movements first, the largest muscle group trained first, and the heaviest weight you can lift first, and then kind of pyramid down, if you like, from there on. Okay, now even though I was going fairly heavy on the flat bench, with the incline and with barbell, I want to start to push for high repetitions now. Probably no less than 8 or 10, and certainly no more than 12 or 15. So I want that rep range of just 10 to 12, quite a limited range, but full range of movement and really squeezing, contracting the muscle at the end of every rep. I'll show you more in the next set. All right, next up, I'm going to keep the same weight, same kind of rep range, 10 to 12, but this time I'm going to do it with my top off, because we all know you're stronger when you haven't got your top on. So here I am, about 4 weeks out. Still got a little bit of water that I'm holding on to, but I'm not going to start manipulating anything until the final week. So this is pretty much me now for the next 3 weeks. Okay, so watch the movement, the technique, and watch my chest muscles contract at the end of each repetition. It's not about the weight on this one, it's about engaging the muscle and feeling it work on each repetition. Just by focusing a little bit more on the intensity of each rep and holding that contraction, as you can see, just for a split second, not even longer than that, makes it a lot harder. Now, if you do that on every exercise you do, if you can manage a certain weight, and then instead of trying to add to the weight and do the same amount of repetitions, try and squeeze that muscle for an extra half second for each repetition, and see how you feel after that. Oh. Right, moving on now from the compound movements and the heavier presses, I'm now going to do flies with cables, but instead of holding onto the handle, I'm going to hold onto the very edge of the handle, the attachment, so I can get a greater line of pull, the angle. And you're going to see when I start lifting, all of the muscle striations and definition really show it in my chest. So it's not an exercise I'd recommend to those who are fairly new to lifting, but for the more advanced lifters and trainers, it's a really good, what I would call finishing off exercise. But I'm going to add it in fairly early on into my workout, just so I can get a good pump, and then I can finish off with a few more incline presses and fixed machine flies to just really bring my chest detail out. Okay, less about strength on that one and more about conditioning. So it's about feeling the muscle work, really holding that contraction again at the end of every repetition, just for a split second. Basically, so I'm not working on momentum and swinging my arms back and forth. I'm controlling each repetition and pausing at the end and start. Give that one a try.